Let's do this. I think this pickups video will go down as maybe the greatest pickups video on this channel. I just got back from Japan 3 days ago, which was the trip of my life up until this point. And when we left for Japan, this duffel bag, massive duffel, was empty. And now you can see it's a 35-pound gargantuan heavy bag full of all the best goodies from Japan. A few things that we need to address before we start. 1, all items featured in this video will be linked down below, and 2, there's an important disclaimer about everything that comes with pickups videos. The fashion world is a very consumption-focused industry. Hopefully you understand that, and hopefully you understand that while watching this video. It's important to say that you do not need to buy or consume this level of product at one time. This took about a month's worth of buying, sorting, looking through in Japan to acquire these things. I didn't just go gangbusters day 1 or week 1. I was there for just under a month. And I, the person who is sitting in front of the camera, has an insatiable appetite for Japanese fashion. Maybe your passion or your interest in clothing isn't to this level. It means that no, you don't need to have this level of product acquired or purchased, or to even think that it's normal to have this level of product at one time, right? This is also my job, so it's important to keep all of those little details in perspective. Remember that this is my job, and I am motivated by the algorithms, by YouTube, by social media to present new ideas, brands, and clothing to you guys. These videos are meant to expand your ongoing catalog of brands, products, and things that you find interesting. These are the things that I find interesting. Take whatever you want, it's yours. I'm not gonna gatekeep anything. All the products in this video are for you to learn about, to explore, and to kind of grow your own interest in fashion. If you already have it, then fantastic. With that out of the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Drew. What it do? It's nice to meet you. Let's get into my pickups from Japan. Let's start this video off with something that I would consider to be an absolute banger. These are the Danner Cascade Range 4s. Japan exclusive, of course. One of the most amazing things about Japan as someone living in the United States is just the sheer amount of American fashion and Americana that Japan has within its different and various stores, at least in the spaces that I consume and enjoy fashion in. These shoes are an example of exactly that. I picked these up on the last day I was in Tokyo. I was strolling around Omotesando, which is a part of Harajuku, or in the kind of Harajuku area, and I stumbled into a store called Stumptown. The store was really cool. It had a ton of different American footwear brands, and Danner was one of them. And then when I saw this shoe in particular, it was like love at first sight. It was like something that it just called to me for whatever reason. And it's because of the interesting and unique design language. And when I asked about these, comes to find out that they are actually an exclusive Japanese pair of Danners. It was sort of my goal while in Japan to find items like the Cascade Range 4. They are a Japan exclusive. When you look online, if you're looking online from a US network, you're not going to be able to find these shoes unless you find them secondhand on any Danner retail site. The upper is comprised of this grained leather, and on the side panels of the shoe there is this relatively nappy suede. You obviously see the size of this midsole and outsole. It's a pretty chunky shoe for a low top pair of kind of boot sneakers. I went with the size 10, which is a bit unorthodox for my feet sizing, as I'm usually a size 11 or 11 and a half, but size 10 was the largest size that they carried of this shoe model in the store. That's something that's interesting about Japan, is that sizing is obviously more catered to their body types. Everywhere I went, I was probably going to be the tallest person in the room, and so that correlates to fashion and sizing and all the things that come with buying clothes and having the right and proper size. But for whatever reason, these fit big, so size 10 in these shoes really fit me quite nicely. There's even a little bit of room towards the toe area for me to wiggle my toes. It's not too tight. I have a flat, narrow foot, which is something that's distinctive for someone who looks like me. And so these have a great on-foot feel. They're light and they're very comfortable. In fact, I would go as far as to say is that the comfort on these Danner Cascades is unreal. The Vibram EVA Flex midsole insole thingy majig, you know the long names for all the Vibram insole outsoles. For these, it's fantastic. From a styling standpoint, I think it fits perfectly into my personal wardrobe currently. I've been wearing more menswear, I've been exploring more American made, more higher quality, more well-made things, and I think this falls perfectly in line with that. And Danner, as being touted as, and has been touted as, one of the most iconic and one of the just most decorated American footwear companies, it's cool that in Japan it's celebrated, and they also are doing cool things within their own right that are made in Japan, that are Japanese exclusives with the kind of Danner signature quality as a cosign. I haven't done it yet, and you're probably asking, Drew, why are you letting the laces flop out like this? But I'm gonna cut the laces actually right here, and then I'm gonna burn the tip of the lace so that once it's kind of locked in to the level that I want it to be locked into, it'll be the perfect tightness for every single day and just daily wear. Yeah, beautiful shoes. Really, really great pickup. Very, very spontaneous. Wasn't planning to pick these up at all, and it's cool to have like a moment like that while in Japan. I could go on and on about these shoes. I love these shoes. I cannot wait to wear these shoes in New York City. I can't wait to maybe break some necks. I have no idea. I don't think many people will be neck broken by these shoes unless you're in the know, but that's the way I like my fashion. So, and I guess you guys will be in the know from here on out. Next, let's get into some denim. You know I can't go to Japan and not pick up some pair of Japanese denim. These are from Levi's Vintage Crafted line. I'm very, very excited about these guys, okay? I'm very, very excited. These are Levi's Vintage Crafted 1955 501s, made in Japan exclusive Kaihara organic cotton red line selvage denim jeans. If you're new here, this is how I like to get down when it comes to denim. You feel me? Where do I even begin with a pair of jeans like this? These to me are the creme de la creme when it comes to reproduced Levi's old school jeans, made on shuttle looms, made in cuts that just complement the body so well. They're not the top, obviously you can pay more for actual vintage Levi's that are from the era. These are reproductions, that's why I said repro. But for me, in my current maturation, in my style journey, these jeans symbolize a kind of return to form, right? I started wearing Levi's at the beginning of my style journey publicly on this channel. I talked about Levi's 501s, 505s, 517s, and then I kind of moved away from Levi's a little bit with the sugarcane Okinawas and other selvage denim and Japanese denim, because the jeans I originally bought from Levi's weren't selvage, and now we're bringing it back with the Levi's Vintage Crafted selvage jeans, Japan exclusive, Kaihara, organic cotton. I'm very, very excited about these. I love the simplicity of the details that come with a pair of Levi's. The button fly is iron, the rivets are copper, there are hidden back rivets, they have the bells and whistles of a just clean, simple pair of Japanese denim that has been made to what I would call and consider perfection. That might be a bit dramatic, but you know, this is my channel. It's clothes. We care about clothes, right? This is what we do. It's Drew what to do. It's what we do. And I know that my denim catalog is getting pretty large, but there is no other item of clothing, and I kind of equate my denim collection to what a sneakerhead collects, but there is no other item of clothing that gets me as excited as a crispy, clean, beautiful looking, high potential pair of Japanese denim. There's just nothing like it. I don't know. I just have a true passion and interest for jeans, and I will continue to showcase, teach, and display the things that I'm interested in on this channel. I'm excited about these. I could talk about them for hours and hours and hours. The fact that the fabric is super light, and you know, the Levi's back tab and the paper patch and all the things. We got other pickups to attend to, which is good. One of the coolest experiences while in Japan was visiting the Kapital store in Shibuya. I'd never been to a Kapital store. I'd only experienced Kapital through the multi-brand retailers here in the States. Think Canoe Club, Blue and Green, others who have and carry Kapital, Cotton Sheep in San Francisco. And when I tell you that you should get subscribed so that you don't miss the vlog that I have showcasing Kapital in Tokyo, in Shibuya, I'm telling you right now. And even the pieces that I picked up, we're gonna start off with this jacket, this one-of-one jacket that I picked up. saw it on the wall. I'd never purchased really any kind of big ticket item from Kapital. And to call this a big ticket item is very interesting because the way that the yen is right now for USers, for United Staters, compared to the dollar, this jacket is absolutely stunning. Let me zip it up for you. First things first, let me talk to you about this one-of-one vintage denim patchwork jacket. It's kind of large, so it's hard for me to show it and show my face at the same time, but I'll do my best. I can't really even find this jacket online, but some of my favorite details include the plackets or neckline buttons that you see towards the neckline, obviously. The massive elbow pockets, almost like they're like wrestler or mechanic pockets or something like that. And of course, you can't talk about this jacket and not bring up all of the unique vintage patches that decorate every inch of the front part of this jacket. To me, I would consider this to be my first Kapital piece, my first true Kapital piece. In the past, I bought hats, bandanas, accessories, and usually that's the entry point for a lot of people because I just couldn't justify or afford some of the pieces that come from Kapital, right? And having the opportunity to be in Japan, the yen compared to the US dollar is so low, I told myself it's worth it. And I did a little bit of self-splurging, and why not? I mean, I feel like I deserve it in some degree. Let me know if you would be able to pull off this jacket, what you think about this jacket. I'm gonna be doing my very best. It's a little bit eccentric for my style, but I feel like my style and my wardrobe needed a piece like this. It needed something that just, I could step out and be like, I'm a showstopper right now. Like, this is me, I'm a showstopper, okay? Like, this is what I'm putting on today. Hopefully it's not too hot. These New York City spring days are getting hotter and hotter, but I'm excited to style this for sure. All right, this next pickup is arguably my favorite, and there's a little bit of a story to it, so bear with me here. Hopefully you guys like more than just, oh, I bought it because it's X, Y, and Z. I like having stories behind the things that I buy. So this is a handmade leather bag from a humble man in the city of Kamakura, which is about an hour away from Tokyo. And this experience, buying this bag, finding this shop, just everything about it made me love just everything about Japan. Right? At this moment, I was just like, I love Japan. Like, this is so cool that someone like this exists. I'm doing a bad job of explaining, but stick with me. So while in Japan, I was heavily inspired by the kind of salaryman, the schoolgirl or schoolboy who had their leather bags with them while on the subway, the Shinkansen, the train, the Super Express, the Limited Express. People were carrying around leather bags like they do in the US as well, like work bags, but they just had this perfectness to them that I hadn't really seen in the US, right? And this bag represents that perfectness in my opinion. I didn't realize this was here. Kamakura is one of Japan's ancient capitals. We'll talk all about that in the vlog and the shopping videos. We'll go into detail about Japan heavily, trust me. But the cool thing about this bag in Kamakura is that it was just this incredibly humble, incredibly small, incredibly just, you could tell that this man was a craftsman. You could tell he'd been doing it for years and he had, hobbled together the money that he could to have this shop so he can sell his leather goods. And I love that aspect of the story. I love the bag. It fits perfectly into kind of the more menswear, mature style. It'd be interesting to style with the Kapital piece. I think it just goes with a lot of things. The fact that it's leather, it's relatively has some water resistance, and the zippers are YKK, and the leather is soft, it's supple, it smells amazing. It's just a bag that I feel like I'll have with me for truly the rest of my life, because of its simplicity, its logolessness, and it's just sheer beauty. It's simple beauty. I love that about it. There were 4 cities in Japan that stood above the rest for me. We have Tokyo, we have Kamakura, we have Kanazawa, and then we have Shimokitazawa. This Grandad shirt is from Shimokitazawa, and Shimokitazawa is one of kind of the more interesting vintage safe havens in Japan, where vintage shopping is the main thing. It's the main thing, the main type of shopping being done in the city. And this Grandad shirt is a prime example of that. It's from Brooks Brothers. I'm assuming it's probably from either like probably 90s, 2000s. It's not that old, right? It's not gonna be that old, but it's in relatively good condition. I loved how in Shimokitazawa, a lot of the shops tried to present the clothing in such a way that they weren't dingy. You can tell it's vintage. There are some little marks in here if you look closely, but like overall, I love the fact that the curation, if it's curated vintage like this, they've done it in a really clean way, and I appreciate that. The presentation was just, it was just a step above a lot of the things that I've seen. No knock to anyone else. I don't see a lot of folks styling Grandad shirts in their 20s, but obviously there is a bit of a movement when it comes to, you know, dressing like your grandfather. And I'm gonna give Grandad shirts a try, right? I think they're pretty cool. They're pretty relaxed. They're kind of this in-between space of casual and formal, which is exactly where style is for a lot of people right now, right? So next, let's get into the 2 Bape items that I picked up. If you don't know, Bape was a brand that before I started publicly kind of showcasing my style journey online, and before I started just being more interested in fashion, Bape was a brand that I was really interested in. So I picked up this crochet style bucket hat from the brand. Whole story behind this, which I'll also explain in the vlog later. It's just a bit of a long, fun story when it comes to Japanese customer service. So I picked up this hat. I think it looks decently good. I think even beyond that, I think Lauren will wear it, and it'll be something fun for the spring and the summer. Nothing too crazy about it. I just thought it was cool. It's Bape. I'm in Japan. Why not? And then I also picked up a Bape. I'm not gonna show it like this, but I picked up a Bape Japan t-shirt as just a kind of recognition of the fact that, hey, like I grew up, in my first Bape piece, I didn't really own any Bape when I was younger, but when I grew up, I had a pair of Bape shorts, and they were fake. I didn't realize that they were a bootleg pair because I bought them on eBay. I thought I was like, oh man, I found some Bape for like $30, and they were like the ape head and then the camo on one side, and I was like, oh, I'm balling out. I got Bape, and people don't even know that like I got it for such a cheap price. Now I can say that, you know, I can buy a Bape t-shirt. I'm a bit older. I probably was 10 years ago, honestly. I was probably like younger than high school when I had these shorts. Yeah, so there's that about those 2 items from Bape. Fun pickups. I'll always have a little bit of a streetwear itch inside of me, and Bape and brands like it, Palace, will always be there for that itch. I don't think that as time moves on, you can just discard the interest that you have, or you can if you want to, but for me, I try to hold on to the things that I see as valuable, and Bape, even though I've never really talked about them that much on the channel, I've always been interested in the brand, and it's always been something that I've been curious about. Next, we have the second and final pair of jeans from this trip. While in Japan, you know that, or I know that, the Japanese denim is abundant, and this pair in particular, maybe you recognize this symbolism iconography. These are from a brand called Evisu, or Evisu. Evisu? Evisu? I don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. In my head, logically, as an American, as an English speaker, I want to say Evisu. So I'm gonna say Evisu. If it bothers you, I'm sorry. So these are the Evisu Lot 2000 painted jeans. Evisu is one of those brands that has always been on my radar. Not always, it's been on my radar ever since I started learning about Japanese denim. And the reason why it's been on my radar is because Evisu is a part of the Osaka 5, right? It's one of those brands that has true and deep heritage in Japan. Even on the label, the pant label, it says Osaka, Japan. Now, these aren't made in Osaka, right? The denim is no longer true to its Japanese roots in the same sense that it was in the past. These are actually made in another country. But I still wanted to pick these up because I think that they're dope. No other reason. I saw them, I thought that they were dope. They're historic for my purposes. I've never owned anything Evisu, and even though I'm buying them in 2024, there's a lot of things I like. From the painted on kind of back stripes to the selvage ID, having both the white and the red. The belt loops are interesting. The stitching that they use to complement the yellow on the paint is really interesting. They have like a yellow and an orange stitch. There's just a lot of things to like about these jeans. They feel good to the touch, and they're just another great addition to the collection. I love interesting jeans, obviously. I'm obviously collecting jeans at this point. You can tell that. And so these are another welcome pair to the collection, and I can't wait to wear them and style them in unique and interesting ways. It's funny, with Evisu, you know, there's like this to me also is back to like streetwear. This is back to doing things that are a bit more eccentric, a bit more showcasey, where, you know, my style also has its subtleties. And so depending on my mood, I can go from something like this to the Levi's Vintage Crafted and still have that rootedness in quality shuttle loom selvage denim. Right. It's gonna be interesting to see these styled. Lauren calls these McDonald's jeans. She kind of roasted me endlessly for that. But we gotta stay strong when our friends or our girls roast us for our fashion. They don't understand the drip, okay? They don't get it. You and I get it. That's why we're watching this. That's why we're here together in this video. We get the drip. Comment hashtag we get the drip if you made it this far. We get the drip. We get the drip. You feel me? We get the drip. Okay, next we have 2 items from Snowpeak. The first being this Takibi vest from the brand. And Snowpeak was a cool store to go into. Actually, I saw Victor Cruz upon entering the store. And I'll make sure to, let me zip this up for you guys, 1 second. Here you go, so you can see it a little bit better. Snowpeak is a really cool brand. It's a brand that I've had a few products from. I actually have 2 right now, and this will be the 3rd and the 4th. And the reason why I picked up this vest is, well, I love the vest for 3 simple reasons. 1, it has so many pockets. I know I said Gorpcore is dead in 2024. I'm sorry that I said that. I mean, the original way that Gorpcore burst onto the scenes is dead. There's still Gorpcore elements implemented within a lot of style across the world. I found that out the hard way in Japan. Not the hard way, but I just found that out in Japan. There's still a lot of people dressing in like a Gorpy way in Japan and all over the world. 2, the fit. I think that the silhouette is really interesting when it comes to this vest, and I'm always looking for new ways to explore my style. It's really, really cool, kind of unique silhouette for a vest. And 3, fabric. I don't know if Snowpeak does it, but they're like poly fabrics are really, really light. They're fantastic, they're functional. Like, this is like flame retardant, and it has all these pockets, and it's gonna be great for me like going around the city with like just like a wife pleaser on, and if I'm doing B-roll or if I'm filming something and I have my hat on, like that's all I'll need is this Takibi vest. And then if I need any more functionality, guess what? We have the next item, which is this bag from Snowpeak. Jeez, see if I can open this more gracefully. Which is this bag from Snowpeak, which, I'm being very sloppy right now, which is this bag from Snowpeak, which is just a little cross bag, has zippers in the, has a mesh pocket in the front, has a zipper across the top, and then inside of it has more of another mesh pocket, and then it also has a little carabiner clip or a clip for whatever you want to clip onto that. So, simple bag, black. Thought it would be functional. It's nice to have these kind of bags when you travel too. So I just know Snowpeak makes things the right way. The bag I currently have is in great condition, and I've been using it a lot. So also I forgot, the bag is called the sacoche bag. Sacoche. It's not Spanish. Sacoche. I have no idea. The next 2 items come from legendary Japanese label Momotaro. I went to Momotaro, I was in Kojima, I was on Jean Street. If you know anything about jeans and denim in the Japanese denim world, I basically went to the mecca of denim, and there will be a whole video dedicated to that, so make sure to subscribe. But I picked up these 2 things. The first one being this Momotaro pink button-down double dual pocket shirt. Just really clean, simple shirt. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. I was considering maybe picking up a pair of jeans, but I knew that I wanted to save my jeans budget for other items and other places, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling buying jeans on Jean Street. I was more focused on just being in the mecca of Japanese denim. Pink is great for the summer, and I think it'll fit well within my wardrobe. I'm super excited for it. Hopefully the fits will be fun and energetic, and I don't know, pink is a fun color. It's got to be styled more, and I'm gonna try to do that for my style. And then I picked up this, and I also picked up this indigo dyed belt. One of the things about this belt that's really, really cool is that, and I'll take it out and show the B-roll. It's a lot to take it out right now. One of the cool things about this belt is the fact that the thickness of the belt will match more closely with the thickness or the length of the belt loops that I have for a lot of the denim that I carry. So this is really my first belt where it's a belt that just complements jeans more so than complements an outfit's aesthetic, if that makes sense. And it's indigo dyed, so it'll fade as well, right? Stick with me here, you're still with me, right? We got a couple final things. I guess last and final mean the same thing. So this next shirt I also acquired in Shimokitazawa. It is just a simple Japanese Spider-Man shirt. And if you don't know, I love Spider-Man. It's just a cool little graphic shirt that had Spider-Man written in Japanese right here in white. I don't know what it says on the bottom. I tried to translate it, but I don't know. I just thought it was a cool shirt. And so I picked it up. It was the last one available. It's not vintage. I think it's made in like, I don't even know. It's not Japanese. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing expensive, but it's fun. And you know, sometimes life is about enjoying things. It's about having fun. It's about, if you have an interest, take actionable steps to enjoy that interest. And for me, Spider-Man is one of those interests. And so is fashion. So when they combine, sometimes you got to be a little bit of a nerd and you gotta shoot your shot with your Spidey stuff. I also played Division I basketball, so that's also part of the interest.
Let's get a word in for today's sponsor, Squarespace. Are you interested in making your very own website for a brand or creative project? Squarespace offers a comprehensive amount of features to help you create the website that you've always wanted. If you want to sell your products direct to consumer, or if you want to showcase your body of work, Squarespace makes it easy to do that and more. Currently, I'm using my Squarespace website as a hub for all of my content and as a way to direct those interested to my podcast and social media. If you need a design to help nudge you into creating your first website, this is your sign. Visit squarespace.com/DrewJoyner for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Okay, now I want to show you guys the accessories that I picked up. I didn't pick up anything too crazy in terms of accessories. I'm not a big jewelry person. I didn't pick up any jewelry. I have the belt, which is an accessory, but I also picked up, I have to find these things, so bear with me, a bunch of pins. So here's an accessory, here's an accessory, here's an accessory. Okay, here are all of the little accessories that I was able to find in the bag. I think there's maybe a few more, but I think this will be enough. Back to talking about Shimokitazawa. So one of the things that was really cool about Shimokitazawa, I love Shimokitazawa. I had a street interview done while I was in Shimokitazawa. But one of the things I loved is that they had at the front of all the cash registers different little pins. And I'm gonna have to show you B-roll because there's no way you're gonna see this. But they had different little pins that you could also purchase that were just so exquisitely cool. And I have a couple of these pins from the brand Bleeding Indigo. The homie over there sent them to me. And I was always wondering, you know, where did he find these pendants and these little pins and things? And something tells me that, I don't know who exactly curates these things, but maybe they were in Japan and they stumbled upon these pins. And so while I was there, oh, these are magnets. I want to give this to my mom. This is different. Ah, damn it. One second, guys. As I was saying, I love pins like this. I add them to my collars and my lapels and my shirts. They had one for the four corners in the USA, which is where I'm from. I'm from Colorado, which is one of the four corner states. So is Utah, New Mexico, and Arizona. They had this interesting, like, it almost looks like a Pokemon or something, like seal pin. And then there's this interesting like cross, almost like reminds me of like a German, I don't know, something German. Or Vivian Westwood even. And then this last one is kind of this like star, almost looks like a military pendant. Kind of fun. And then also in Kojima, I picked up some denim accessories. So we have another version of a denim keychain. These are the same. I'm just gonna put these on my different bags and whatnot. They're pretty fun. And then this accessory from Japan Blue Jeans is actually a keychained shoehorn. So you can take your shoehorn around with you wherever you want to go. And that's pretty cool because in Japan you often have to take your shoes off when you're traveling as a sign of respect for the interior cleanliness of a home or a temple or a shrine. And this is awesome. I'm gonna be carrying this with me in all of my, you know, EDC, everyday carries. You guys know what that is, right? This will be a part of my EDC. I just have to implement it in such a way that it doesn't add too much bulk to my EDC. So I'm really excited about that. You can tell, like, this is maybe like, this is the most excited I've had, most excitement, most fun I've had in a pickups video. We're just flowing. We're just flowing. Flow. Also, I don't want this video to bloat, so I will be giving a more detailed explanation for everything in the vlogs and the videos that I have to come. Make sure you subscribe for those videos. Should be a lot of fun. And then in Tokyo, there's a special district. I keep saying the wrong things. In Tokyo, there's a special district for otakus, which is just a fancy, not that fancy, Japanese word to say those who are interested in Japanese manga and anime. And I picked up 2 little figures from Akihabara and Radio Kaikan in Akihabara. The first is this Vegeta figure from the Dragon Ball Super movie, Super Broly. I always thought that this is one of the hardest movies for Dragon Ball I've ever seen. Like, I've rewatched it probably 3 times. And then I picked up this standing Omega Shenron, which is a character from Dragon Ball GT. I believe he's the final antagonist of the Dragon Ball GT series. And I always thought his character design was kind of hard. I don't know. Like, it's just kind of this humanoid demon bug. Kind of like Cell, but regardless, it's pretty cool. All right, the absolute final thing I want to show you guys are 2 mangas, or kind of Japanese focused books. Akira is a series of Japanese anime and manga that plunged me very much so deeper into the manga anime space, right? And to honor that kind of part of my journey when it comes to Japanese mangas and animes, and I've read Akira, I've seen the movie, it's fantastic, you guys should check it out if you don't know. It's one of my favorites of all time, and I actually have the full box set, which is really special as well. But to honor that kind of fact that I love Akira, I picked up what I would consider to be the most beautiful cover from the Akira manga series, which is this one. This is volume number 4, and you have young Akira doing his thing, and you can just tell the artwork by Otomo Katsuhiro is just fantastic, man. It's just on another level. It really is. And then I also picked up this really interesting book. It's called Otomo The Complete Works 23 Animation. So this is like an animation book that shows the different panels of the animations and the animation styles and all the things that go into actually animating the movie. Because the movie was something that was just very special for the Western world and for Japanese animes in general. It was just not something that you saw very often. Same with, there's other animes that are similar, but it just had this style, right? That was really, really cool. And I'm a big fan of anime, I'm a big fan of Akira, so I picked these up as a bit of a memorial, and I'll probably do some kind of framing for this book and at some point in my life. It's all in Japanese, so not like I'm gonna read it again. I have the box set. And then for this is just like visual inspiration, so it should be pretty cool. Which item stood out to you the most? Is there any item in particular that you want me to talk about more in a future video, whether it be short form or whether it be an entire YouTube video? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you have any additional questions about Japan or anything, let me know. I'll be more than happy to reply, but understand some of the comments will go unreplied because I will be responding to them in future videos. So subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity in 2024. So that means I'm spreading peace, love, and positivity to you and more, wherever you are in the world. And I truly mean this. Wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful rest of your day. Abianto. Peace. Yo, what is good, post vid? Here are the fist bumps for the one time. It's been too long. Bah! Here's the second fist bump for the one time. Bah! Thank you so much for staying to the end of the video. We're back from Japan, PVV. We're back in the hot but equally beautiful New York City. Japan was a trip, man. I'm gonna be talking about it at least for the next month. You're gonna be sick of me talking about Japan. We got 5 or 6 videos lined out like bam, bam, bam. It's gonna be rapid fire with Japan videos, hopefully. So I need your help, PVV, because I know that you're the most engaged members of the audience. I wanna know, what should we do next? Should we do the shopping vlog video where I kind of take you guys through the different stores and things and just cultural things that we experienced while in Japan that led me to purchasing these items that I just showcased for you? Or should we focus on the birthplace of denim, which is, I'm excited about that one in particular. I'm excited about everything, but that one in particular, talking about Kojima, talking about Okayama, talking about just how denim manufacturing became what it is in Japan. We visited the actual location. We went to Jean Street, family. Like, we went to Jean Street. It was crazy. Should we go there? Or should I show you guys the background of these items? Let me know down in the comments, hashtag PVV when you reply. See you in the next video. God love for you. It's gonna be a great summer. Peace.